Wonderful! Everyone's still safe! What happened? I thought there was an earthquake, and then the red mist seemed to vanish. And I thought I heard strange cries in the distance. I hope it was only my imagination.
I know it's only been a short time since we met, but it feels like we've been together a long time. I know what I have to do, so you only need to focus on moving forward with what you're doing. I'll watch your back, no matter what. I can't leave Cruz to bear the weight of my mistake. I have to stop it.
Now I am a shield to defend you, as well as your sword. Use me as you will. The Jail of the Mists lets nothing go. The barrier that isolates us was made with the Relic of the Brain, the strongest of all relics, and a sacrifice of countless blood beads. That shows how big a threat the Queen and we Revenants are to the world. You don't have to accept it, but you do need to understand it. The current successors are weakening, and since there are few replacements, some reach their limits. That's why Eva took on multiple relics, but their power caused her to suffer more and more. Then you came along, the one who drained blood from the Queen. We thought you were dead. Your affinity is high, and you have the power to calm the relics. You're exactly what I was hoping for. That's why I tried to The situation is constantly changing. We need to hurry.
Reports claim that an unidentified horror appeared at the time the red mist vanished. Take care, even if you aren't going near the mist. The organization I belong to is part of the government. People tend to drop the provisional qualifier these days. Gregorio Silva assembled it around the military to help manage the turmoil after the war against the Queen. But the lost born in the war still roam unchecked. Revenants live in fear of losing themselves, and we can do little but survive. The fighting continues, and so the provisional body too continues. An unchanging fact of life. My one wish is that we can take our world back and restore peace.
It's totally up to you, but I was hoping you'd give my strength a try. You've done nothing but help me, so I want to return the favor in whatever way I can. So, don't be shy. Go on and take my blood code.
It'll be okay. I know you can do it. Relax. No matter what happens, we'll always be right there with you. That horror worries me, but what we have to do right now is straightforward enough. We've got to get to Silva before it's too late. I won't let the world end. Not after Nicola and everyone else tried to defend it.
I hope that a day will come when humans and revenants can work together and join hands in fellowship. I'm sure it will take a very long time, assuming it ever does become a reality. Still, it's one more reason we can't allow the world to come to an end. The loss of the mist invites total ruin. We have to prevent that.
That bastard Mito kept up his stupid games until the very end. If the red mist disappears again, we're doomed. We have to hurry to see Silva. We've been depending on you for everything. I'll try to take on whatever I can to ease your burden. Don't forget Jack's warning. I don't want to be in a situation where I have to stop you by force.
Allow me to take you to the successor. And so, with those words, I was taken to a facility. There I saw other attendants lying in beds, all of them connected to machines. It appears to be a laboratory of some kind. However, no matter how desperately I search, I cannot find my successor anywhere. Still, I can feel it. It feels like my successor is so close. A man named Mito, in the pursuit of his research, performed experiments on the other attendants and turned them all to ash. Even now, I can still feel my successors somewhere nearby. I have to keep searching for them. It is hard for me to move, but I must. I have a duty to ease the suffering of my successor. I must fulfill my duty. Completely heedless of oneself or others, wandering lost and directionless, hoping only for the safety and well-being of their successor. I was the same way. Even when another attendant attacked and came close to frenzy right before my eyes, even then, I could not break my focus. But I wonder, is that really how it should be? Successor, please. Please, not that song. The burden of it is too much to bear. Hearing that melody, it awakens the sin sleeping within us. Please, forgive me. Please, I'm sorry for my sin. I don't understand. Why was she apologizing? The sin within us. What was she referring to? What could it be that I have somehow managed to forget? No. I cannot let myself fall here, in this place. I must find my successor. I must defend my successor. I have to go on. My successor. I suppose many attendants must have met the same fate, struggling to be with their successors, but turned to ash without ever meeting them. And it could have been the same for me. If I had made one mistake, I would have been doomed as well. The attendants, they could only live in accordance with their mission. It's possible they might have been able to survive if they had only chosen another way.
Lost sighted. Look up ahead. I hope you're ready. Don't let them push you back. That was weak. There! Good one. Hostiles present. Don't rush ahead. Something useful? Okay, We're almost there. At last, main event.
Wait a moment. That lost left a vestige behind. There is something somehow familiar about it. I would like to know what memories it contains. Would you show them to me? I know that there is a monster growing inside of me. I know, but am I strong enough to beat it? I won't run. I can't run. I have to keep fighting. It shouldn't be like this. I can't fail him. I would be betraying everyone, even my father. But this monster is too much for me. I can't fight it. Please, someone, help me. Louis, please. Destroy me. I need you to do this for me. If you can't, then I'm sorry. In the end, I wasn't strong enough. Now everyone is. Still, if you can help me atone for my sin, please help those who are suffering. If you can ease their burden, even if it's only a little. So, that gives me some explanation. Her desire to comfort and support the afflicted, mixed with the despair she felt for her own situation. It was Cruz's vestige that had created the attendance of the relics. She was afraid the same mistake would occur again. That's why we can only remain by their sides. We are incomplete. Please, take me with you to where Silva is. As the Queen, Cruz's existence was one long, constant struggle. She fought until the very end against the monster inside her, desperate to save revenants from their thirst. I want to deliver salvation, not just consolation. I want to bring about all of the wishes Cruz had for her people. The wishes of the attendants, of my sisters. I want to be the one who finally makes them a reality. I know that this is not part of my duty, but even so, it is something I need, something my heart cries out for. So, if it isn't too much to ask, please.
Even the buildings were caught in Silva's frenzy. Moving. We should take the map of the depths to Davis. Wait right there. It's a cruel sight to see. The guards that were here must have...
Hold on. Am I hallucinating? There are still revenants that can move around in this chaos? I don't know what outfit you're with, but can you help me gather some important documents? Silva is beginning to frenzy, and the effect is causing all the revenants nearby to lose themselves. I'm human, so I don't have to worry about joining the Lost, but fleeing here was the best I could do. So, if you could bring me any documents you come across, I'd really appreciate it. Documents should be somewhere in here. Let's see. You found documents on Boar parasite compatibility. Back then, we needed cooperation from revenants with high compatibility more than anything. Around that time, we got a report about a girl whose compatibility was off the charts. Her name was Cruz Silva, Gregorio Silva's daughter, and the person who would later become the Queen. Silva is a parent. No parent would want their child to be the subject of an experiment. But Cruz was adamant. She wanted to save people, and so she volunteered for the research. Her compatibility made everything go smoothly, and many advances that were made still help us today. But then, she frenzied. My word. These are written directives from Operation Queenslayer. When Silva was still human, he told me to follow them if something happened to him. When Silva died during the Queen's frenzy, we turned him into a revenant as quickly as we could. He awakened immediately and set out to eliminate her. To me, it seemed like he cast aside all his personal feelings toward his daughter at that moment. Do you find it strange for a human to be here? Silva unequivocally told me that I mustn't become a revenant. He said that if revenants couldn't resolve the situation, then a human point of view would be necessary. I never thought that would come to pass, though. I was expecting to live out my remaining days in peace. Life does take unexpected turns. Thank you. This is a survey report on the Red Mist. Silva turned himself into a successor and used his power to create the Red Mist. The most important reason to maintain the Red Mist is to ensure the Queen's power spreads no further. However, Silva continually expends a great deal of energy to do this. Thus, the levy system was put into place in order to ensure the blood that he requires. The Red Mist, the levy system, and his research. Silva has done all of this for the sake of Revenants. Thank you again. Now I have all of the documents. I intend to analyze all the information they contain once more. Silva is on the verge of frenzy, which means the Queen could be resurrected. I have to come up with a plan to break us out of this situation. I hate to impose on your good nature, but if it is possible, please go check on Silva.
That's a good idea. When all else fails, last, the main event. No mistakes there. Looks like it's finished. Hang in there just a little longer.
Please, spin a thread of memory for me. Forgive me, my successor. I promised that I would defend you as your attendant. It was my duty. But I could not prevent your frenzy. In the end, I failed you. I could do nothing more than watch as your death finally came for you. Why was I even here? What purpose did I serve? This attendant lost their successor to frenzy, and then succumbed to it themselves. If all we can do is stand by and watch, while we lose the ones we've been charged to protect, then does our presence serve any purpose? As attendants, what good do we do? If I am able to ease your suffering, even if it is only by the smallest amount, then I would gladly sacrifice myself to do so. After all, that is the duty with which I have been entrusted. It is my reason to be. For now, and always. Is it really meant to be this way? Do all attendants have to sacrifice their lives for the sake of their successors? It does not seem right. But could it be that I'm mistaken? This thing is huge. I cannot understand. The actions you've chosen to take, they can bring nothing but further disaster to this land. I cannot allow that mistake to repeat itself a second time. Stand by their side and attend to them. That is enough. It is the duty with which we have all been entrusted. If you lose your way, if you take one false step, it will lead to that same result. That's not true. Yes, as attendants, it may be that we were all born from Cruz's weakness. But we are not all identical to one another. Our experiences are unique. Through our journeys, I have experienced the memories of so many different people. I have witnessed the passion with which they lived their lives. And what I've found for every single one of those people is that they fought as hard as they could to survive. They pushed themselves for the sake of others to keep living. It didn't matter if they had lived as a human or if they had lived as a revenant. They still struggled on. It was the same for the successors, just as it was for so many of our poor sisters. I do not wish to cling to a futile mission out of fear and let myself stand by, hoping for a peaceful ending. I will struggle. I will fight. Against Cruz's sin, and against my duty. To be complete. Io, it's true, there does seem to be something different within you. Something that sets you apart from the other attendants. Very well. I bequeath all to you. And so, I beg of you, please, save everyone. Shall we try opening it? We go together. This is the core of the crypt. calm your emotions.
No. Silva has lost control of the relic.
What's wrong?
Silva is pulling in the relics.
No, I refuse to let the world end here. I swear, I will stop this!
You're in danger. Heal your wounds. Hang in.
Be back for you.
We don't have a lot of time. Hey, kid, can you handle this?
It's all right.
Hey! Huh? Io.
In the end, no matter who I may be, even if I serve as little more than an empty vessel, you have stored so many precious memories inside of my heart, and I promise I will never allow them to fade away. Whatever happens, I will always be with you. Just as you will always be within my heart. And now, goodbye.
What?
The relics.
soul awakens. Everything is now so clear. My purpose and why I stood by you like I did. So many around us are lost, wandering much like myself for so long, but no more. Now I found my destiny. To build a new world together, standing by through whatever's coming. Heal all your wounds and restore it all to how it should be. Though the price that I pay may be high, I was made so I could protect you with my life.
All the power was sucked right out of my body. I was so big and strong. But now look at me. But now Jack's training me to grow strong again. I don't see Mia as much as I used to, but I always feel close to her, even when we're apart. I think it's because we respect each other so much now. I miss her, but a knight has his duty.
I plan to start research with Karen that will hopefully lead to methods for controlling thirst and revenants. I don't know if we'll ever find an answer, but I'm sure it will lead to better lives in the Jail of the Mists. It would be nice if Louis could work with us.
We finally secured a steady supply of blood beads. Once again, we have Io to thank. On the day she took all of the relics, I was suddenly my old self again. And ever since then, she's been producing blood beads and even maintaining the red mist. So even if it's only a little, I want to make it so people can have normal lives in this world she's protecting for us. That's my wish.
In the years after Io stopped the relics from frenzying and transformed into the Weeping Tree, Karen and the others discovered a reliable source of blood beads. And the question I've pondered for so long, what as a Revenant can I do? What about the outside world and the horrors there? We analyzed the signals intercepted from outside when the red mist appeared. They were countless cries for help. As Revenants, we prey upon humanity. We might bring them nothing but misery. Even so, I can't just give up.
This garbage heap may just have become a slightly better garbage heap. That means people have less use for what I'm selling. I'm only joking. Don't worry about me. Do your thing, okay?
I've looked through documents from the Great Collapse, and the more I read, the more I understand why those creatures are called horrors. They're immune to even the most powerful weapons, and immortal like the lost that plagued the Jail of the Mists. Now I understand why Revenants had to be created. The situation was that dire. And the horrors are still roaming the outside world. It must be incredibly difficult living out there.
The relic's power created the Weeping Tree, thanks to Io's wish, and there's no sign of the Queen coming back. It must have taken a strong will. We're ordinary Revenants without the power of the relics, but our mission still remains. As long as I live, I will continue to watch over that power, together with Jack.
There are no changes in the Weeping Tree. It's completely normal. Don't worry. If anything happens, I swear I'll do everything in my power to stop it. Meanwhile, it's time we both do what we need to. My mission as a Watcher has ended, but my duty to protect the world still remains. I won't allow the hell here to escape and torment those outside.
I'm glad to see that things have calmed down a bit here. Although Louie's worried again. Are the two of you ever satisfied? You finally earned some peace, so why not enjoy it? Well, whatever you choose, I'll go along with you. Do what you feel is right.
Today I invited Yakumo to work for the provisional government, but he turned me down outright. Sorry, but just like you've got things you want to do, I've got things I want to do too. Yeah, he hasn't changed a bit. Well, I didn't want to work for them at first either. After a while of fighting to survive, I noticed I'd made a bunch of friends along the way. And here I am stuck with them. But I guess they're all pretty great, so I don't regret it at all.
The Lost are still a dire threat to the survival of humanity, but the new provisional government is at last on a course to stop them. Silva is pushing reforms to aid as many revenants as possible. I can finally get to the job of exploring the depths in earnest. You've been a great help. I must thank you. Oh, I nearly forgot. I have a message for you. The provisional government would appreciate your cooperation. Please contact the government if you seek work with real meaning.
Is that amber blood bead Io gave you all right? It's a piece of her memory and a manifestation of her strength. Handle it with care. Karen and the others say it's made of the same substance as the weeping tree Io gave us after taking on all the relics. It has the ability to alter the relic's influence, if only in a small way.
You're leaving into the outside world?
Yeah, I figured that's what you would do. I can't say I approve of you heading out alone, though.
At least say something before you go. After all, we're supposed to be friends, right?
And since you guys insist on charging ahead all the time, you're going to need someone to keep things running smoothly.
To be honest, I'm not sure how welcome revenants will be in the outside world. But we have to keep reminding ourselves that we were all created for a reason. I'll carry on Cruz's dream. Just like you carried Eos. Let's go.
Io,